What would Jamie Tartt say about last night's game?
Rubbish, mate. You can't say it. It's live radio. You'd get in trouble for saying it. But
Right.
He'd get me on, mate. I mean, Jack Grealish wasn't there.
I was going to say, how gutted would Jamie be that Jack wasn't picked for the team?
I mean, yeah, he's just like, what are you doing? He's the prettiest one of them all. Why would you not get him on?
Virgin Radio.
Amazing guest for his next versus. Who may it be?
Our next guest is the award-winning actor who will live forever in our hearts as Jamie Tartt. And we could do with him at the Euros. He now stars in Oklahoma in concert in the West End in August. So on this, oh what a beautiful morning, let's apply the feel-good factor 50. It's Phil Dunster!
Yeah! Good morning, Phil!
I'm just so thrilled about that introduction.
Do you like it?
More the puns than anything.
Oh, all right, no, he's got all the puns.
Yeah, sorry about them.
Delightful.
Yeah, what is it? Well begun is half done. Yeah,
and all the puns is...
I don't know, whatever it is. Okay, right.
Hold on, that went really, really well, and then all of a sudden it all just caved in.
Because the team writes it for
Yeah,
him.
right. Yeah.
Phil, how are you, man?
Great, yeah, very well.
Did you watch the game last night?
Unfortunately, yes, I did, yes.
What did you... He thinks we did all right.
I thought it was all right, second half, yeah.
Look, I'm sure there's a school of thought, if you're dull, that, we're fine, we went through first, but you want them to inspire a nation.
Yeah.
And, I mean, yeah, fine, we're not out, and I can just almost hear Gareth Southgate, sort of his interview saying, we're through. What more do you want?
Yeah.
What more do you want?
Do you know we're favourites now? It's so bizarre.
What?
We're favourites.
Says who?
No, the bookies. So after the match, so before the match, this is true, right?
Yeah.
So we were 3-1 favourites to win the tournament before a ball was kicked, right? And then we weren't, because obviously people saw us playing.
Yeah.
And after the match last night, we're back to 4-1 favourites because of the half of the draw that we're in.
Yeah.
So we will not face Germany, we will not face Italy, Belgium, Portugal and Spain, other than in the final. We can't meet them unless we get to the final. And so we've got this unbelievably favourable half of the draw. So we could... Holland's the biggest stumbling block, and it's the first game, probably the first game on Sunday. So we're now back to favourites to win the tournament.
I mean, that's inspiring confidence, isn't it? The others are rubbish, so we might just get through. But didn't that happened in the World Cup?
Yeah,
didn't it? Where
exactly.
we had a really favourable draw. Was that where we beat Panama 6?
Yeah, and then we just needed to beat Sweden.
Yeah, but even then, we were scoring 6 goals in a game,
Yeah.
and here we just about managed 1.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. Well, nothing yesterday.
Yeah, but that's true. Exactly. But I also feel like we're sort of, this is doing our national duties of moaning and groaning about our team during a major tournament.
I suppose it's what we all want, isn't it? Really, it's if only life were like this. You want the hangover, then the party. The problem with the party is, you got to wait for the hangover. Maybe we're doing it the right way around for once.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm becoming optimistic.
Oh God. Oh God.
Phil, we've got to talk about Ted Lasso. We'll talk about that in a bit. Let's talk about Oklahoma first, because that's why you bothered to get up and come here. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yeah. What's going on with you in Oklahoma? Where is it? When is it? Who are you playing? Do you get to sing "Oh, what a beautiful morning"?
Well, I was going to. Now I've heard you sing it. I'm going to give up because that's so good.
Come on, tell us.
So I am going to be playing Curly.
Yeah.
In Oklahoma, which is going to be at the Theatre Royal, Drury Lane, on 18th and 19th of August. There's going to be 3 shows, and it's Oklahoma in concert, and it's a 28-piece orchestra.
Right.
The London Musical Orchestra, and it's going to be mega, because often when you go and see a musical, they don't have such a big orchestra. It's going to be powerful. It's also one of those shows that I think a lot of people think they know, and then there's obviously Oklahoma in it, and a song like "Oh What a Beautiful Morning," which there's such classics, but also, and I didn't really realise this before I started looking into the show, it's actually quite dark as well. In relative terms.
Give us the gist.
It's not like The Joker, but it's so it's about sort of there's 2 love triangles there. It's during 1906, this time when in America, the sort of frontier of America, finding this new land, and obviously there's modern day problems with that, but at the time it's this sort of exciting era of discovery and finding national identity, and it's also then just about this really beautiful parochial town and these lovers, these guys. You know, Curly meets Laurie, and he wants to take her to the dance to go do a hold down.
Oh,
and,
listen to you already with the accent.
Baby. Oh yeah.
How far are you into rehearsing?
Well, we start rehearsals later on. We haven't started rehearsals yet, but it's a lot of. This is a huge challenge for me because I haven't done a musical before,
Right?
Which I am so excited about. But also the moment, you know, it's those things when you say yes to something,
Yeah.
or
Screw it and do it.
right. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And every morning I'm waking up going, oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But if you hadn't said yes, if you'd have thought about it, you'd have said no. So
Right.
there's another word. There's another phrase called ready, fire, aim. You know, ready, fire, and then we'll aim later. So you set the shot off,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you steer it back to where you want it to go once it's in flight.
Right,
Otherwise,
right.
Again, you wouldn't do it. Richard Branson talks about it all the time. He
Right,
says,
right.
screw it and do it. He calls himself Dr. Yes,
Yeah.
because he's a bit like a Bond villain, like Dr. No. He's got his own island, but he's Dr. Yes. That's why he calls himself Dr. So you've got a bit of... He's Dr. Yes this morning with the football, aren't you?
Yeah,
You're giving it
absolutely.
all the yes this morning.
Giving it the beans. For us as performers, it's kind of amazing. It's a
Yeah.
it's a very rare thing to have a show like this, and it's the 80th anniversary performance. And
Howard Keel, was he the original guy? Howard Keel?
yeah.
Okay. So he was, oh, what a beautiful morning, wasn't he?
He was. Yeah.
Wow. So have you watched old stuff? Are you doing that, or would you not do that?
I have, and
Because I watched every old Top Gear, but it didn't help. Clearly.
It's a certain mould so that you're going into.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but I have kind of. Hugh Jackman played him in 1998.
Right.
He was an up and coming actor at the time, and he is extraordinary, and it's actually quite unhelpful at times.
Is that a film version or?
No, it was at the National Theatre.
Did you watch it?
I've seen. I wasn't not at the time, but I've seen.
They videoed it.
They've got.
Did
yeah,
they
yeah.
video
It's
it?
amazing. It's really good. It's really really good.
Can you watch it? Is that out there or?
It is. It is. Yeah, you can go and get it.
All right, okay.
It's not going to be as good as ours. Winking.
Yeah,
through
I
the-
mean, it was the last thing you did, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
But so I have seen some, and then there was one on Broadway in 2019, and it was a lot darker. This is the thing. There's definitely something in there. It's not just a sort of sweet, G-shucks kind of show. There's so much depth to it, and I think maybe people don't, because there are so. It's almost so famous, the songs in it, that you almost lose the depth to it. So I have gone back and seen some others, tried to get some inspo, mostly been...
Inspo.
Get
inspo. Love it.
Sorry, hashtag
No,
inspo. But also mostly been daunted by the fact that they're so good.
It's great though, because it's Oklahoma in concert, because you have this huge orchestra, and it says here 3 performances across Monday the 19th and Tuesday the 20th, almost like they've not decided when. So
At some point, some people will be there. You could be there.
So when do you think there might be?
So there's an evening show
On the Monday.
on the Monday,
Right.
and then there's a matinee show and an evening show
On the Tuesday.
On the Tuesday, we
Right.
guess. I mean, sure.
It's funny,
that's
isn't
the
it?
plan at the minute.
It's
That is
exciting,
what's
man.
happening, yeah.
Monday the 19th, Tuesday the 20th of August, oklahomaconcert.co.uk at the Theatre Royal, Drury Lane. Great theatre. You played there before?
Oh man, haven't played there before, but yeah.
You been?
I've been. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, saw Zizi, who is playing Laurie. She was in a concert of Pippin, and it was.
And you just happened to see her? Or you were
I
in
went
prep
along
for
with the
this?
producer for this.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, and it was. She is absolutely extraordinary.
Great.
Not even like I'm towing the line here. She is beyond amazing, and seeing her, I was again daunted out of my skin.
Nicole Scherzinger came in here, didn't she, last year ahead of the play that she received all the stars for. Yeah, Sunset Boulevard, and I mean, ridiculous. I should imagine it's not dissimilar.
Sure, yeah. There's a star power there.
Yeah. May we please talk about Ted Lasso?
Sure. Yeah, please.
I didn't realise you won. You were up for a couple of SAG Awards, and you won one of the SAG Awards, Screen Actors Guild Awards.
Yes.
Tell us about that. Where was that? How was that? Who was there?
Well, we won. This is a couple of years ago. We won for best ensemble.
Yep.
Or ensemble.
Yeah.
As they say.
Or
in
assembly,
France.
like at school.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which was amazing, which was super cool. We weren't there in person for that one because we were still filming at the time. But we went to one recently. God, who was there? It's kind of a joke. There was, who was it that it was? Anne Hathaway, Emily Blunt, and Meryl Streep all presented an award to Barbra Streisand, which is a sort of
a very
glitzy
heavy award.
Yeah, it genuinely is very heavy. But that was really amazing. But I don't know, it's funny. It's such a weird, separate element to doing the show, and not just like that's not the reason we do it, blah blah blah, which I'm sure loads of people say, but it's true. But it's also like it's so weird to see everyone in that context because we've spent so long with each other in a sort of on set, and you're like, why are you here looking all sharp and sexy and
different?
You're supposed to be in football kit.
It's so different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. And you never played football. You were a rugby boy, weren't you?
I was a rugby boy. Yeah.
Yeah, you did all right at rugby.
I was. Yeah, I had a big bottom, so I still have. So that was my way into it.
But pretty good at it. And about 15, 16, you thought not good enough though. But you were quite serious about it for a while.
Certainly, London Irish Academy said not good enough after I turned up once.
Yeah, but hang on a minute, you got to London Irish Academy.
I did a trial there, and they were like, no bueno. And so I was sort of, it was at that time where you're sort of looking for something to do and what you want to do with your life, and tried to join the army, and they took one look at me and they were like, I think. Do
you have military history in your family?
Yeah. My dad was in the army. He was an officer, and my brother is an officer. He's a major in the army. And I tried to be and see aforementioned centre of attention, show off. I think they were like, this probably isn't for you, which I'm very, very grateful for, because it wasn't, because it's really, really hard.
Was it?
Yeah.
Army.
Yeah. So it turns out it's pretty tough. Yeah.
And you can't go home moaning about a hard day's filming, can you?
That's it.
You could try.
Yeah. I try. And Stu's like, no.
What did your dad do in the army?
My dad was in the Queen's Regiment,
right?
And he was a lieutenant way back when,
right?
And then
does he have that discipline with him still in his life?
Yeah. It's
how is that? Tell us about that.
Well, it's I suppose that it's a sort of, I don't know. It's like an understanding that there is a regiment, that there is that there's a way of doing things which is efficient and effective.
I know. It works.
Yeah.
I was in denial of all that for ages.
Yeah, it's true. And I think that it's something that there is an element of that which I really responded to, because when I was at drama school, we had this dance teacher who was she was a sort of sergeant major in her own right, where she was all about discipline. There was a way of doing it. You don't do it till you get it right. You do it till you can't get it wrong.
That's great.
And she was terrifying, totally terrifying. But I think she sort of has this sort of mythic quality to her history. And so I think maybe through that I sort of responded quite well to her screaming at you.
Discipline regime, authority, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I didn't realise that organisation works until I trained for a marathon. And 17-week training plan, you break it down, and it works. Yeah. Oh, well, what a surprise!
Sure. Yeah.
And so I've now, more of my life is like that. But I would just wonder what it was like to have a dad that had that sort of inbuilt regime or regimen about them, and whether it rubbed off on you.
Yeah, I mean,
it seems to have done.
Well, I think if I'm being really kind to myself, I suppose there's some element of the DNA in there. But I also, I don't want to over-egg the pudding in that I'm really, really regimented, because I'm lazy. But I suppose that's why you have that regimen, so that you can be lazy and it's habitual, and
just get on with it.
Yeah.
You can be lazy and productive, and you can be very productive and be completely useless.
Say that again.
Well, you can be lazy and be productive.
Yes.
But you can be very productive and be useless.
What's the thing that Bill Gates said is that I just get someone lazy so they.
Yes.
This is exactly what the meme is. It's like, what is it? It's something like, I hire the laziest person because it means that they'll get it done quick. They'll find a way to do it quick, fastest.
Yeah.
And I suppose
least resistance.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess it's then becoming about habits, and from what I'm sure there's lots of military people listening going, this is not how you do it, but it's basically a clear regimen. It becomes habitual. You don't have to think about it. It's something that it kicks in. And
habit energy.
Habit energy. Yeah.
I love habit energy, don't you?
And so I suppose, and there is a regimen. And when you look at people, it's funny in particularly in theatre, musical theatre, you hear people praising such hard work because it's so hard.
100%.
And when we went to go and see Zizi in Pippin, and all the others, but we were speaking about Zizi, that hard work is such a sort of vaunted quality.
Yeah.
It's lionized on the stage because there are so many elements that you have to be on top of, and I think that you can break down in the same way that, you know, it's just about turning up, doing the work, to the best of your ability. And I think that there is, you know, it's just about discipline, really.
Because Hannah Waddingham, you know, she is right out of the West End, isn't she? As we saw in that Christmas special, you know, she brought it all to the fore.
Mustard.
And she knows what it's like. And isn't it true that which theatre was that filmed at again? I can't remember.
Palladium.
Was it the Palladium?
It was, no, it wasn't. It was
Colosseum?
Colosseum.
Yeah.
The Colosseum.
It was,
the other one.
And the Colosseum's not a small theatre, and everybody in that theatre was a guest of Hannah Waddingham because she's worked with that many people, and they all love her.
Yeah.
And there were like 2,000 people in there.
Yeah.
And they all knew her well and loved her and have worked with her and respected her. And the vibe coming out of the telly when I watched it 4 times that.
Yeah.
It was just, and you all loved her on stage as well.
Yeah. Well, she takes people with her.
Oh,
Yeah. She does.
best.
But you know, I think
Takes
she
people
more
with
than
her.
anyone.
Great thing to say.
Well, she does, yeah, and she more than anyone. She is a lot of people's claim to fame, more, but due to the fact that she's made them feel like cared for, seen,
Heard.
and that she gives a hoot about them.
Any advice from her to do with Oklahoma?
Do it, just do it. Work hard. No, but
Have you talked to her about it?
Imagine. No, I haven't. But
Might you do that?
I will do. Yeah.
Do you go out with her?
How do I do it?
Do you go out with her? Not like...
Yeah. This is
Do
an
you hang
exclusive here that we. Yeah, we do. Yeah. And
Aw.
we did loads when we were doing all of the sort of Ted merry-go-rounds.
Isn't it hard? It's hard to believe for me, I mean, you were in it, that Ted Lasso is done and dusted because it was so brief in a way. I know that you were there for a long time, but it is over now, isn't it? And we all fell in love with it, and we were like, you know, this has got a good 3, 4 or 5 seasons in it, but it was just the 3.
It lives on in our hearts.
I know, but how do you? I mean, how is it for you? Because I just think it's almost like it never happened. Whereas Breaking Bad, I can still feel that. Sopranos,
Right.
I can still feel that. Maybe it's because of the subject matter, but you know, like The Affair, I can still feel that because they seem to live out their life to the life expectancy we wanted them to have. Whereas we do feel that Ted was prematurely lost, which I suppose is part of the magic.
I think there probably is that, and I think that, you know, I think all along, Jason has said that there will only be more if it makes sense for there to be more, and I really think that it's one of those things where, you know, it's giving people what they, if I could be so bold as that, giving people what they need rather than what they want, which I think people won't appreciate it.
Such the Nanny McPhee's there, isn't it?
It's firm but fair.
Meet your needs, don't chase your wants.
Because you're
It's all on my gym
soundbite
wall.
haven.
I look at it every day.
Okay.
You should come round, write something on the wall. You've written something on the wall, haven't you, Vassos?
Yeah, I can't remember what it was.
No, nor can I. No, you put something down that The Strongest Men came in.
Oh, if it ain't bending, it's pretending.
In the gym. If the bar ain't bending, you're just pretending.
That's horrible.
I know.
That's a toxic thing
and
to
it's
say.
also such a
For a strong
Vassos
man.
thing to do.
But
When you were in Ted Lasso, clearly you're fit as a fiddle. Have you kept that up? Were you fitter then than you ever have been? Because you had to look like a
Well,
footballer.
I saw you during the marathon,
You did?
and that was I was probably fitter then.
Let's talk about the marathon. How did you do?
I did all right. I did just over 4 hours, which, if I'm quite honest, well, I ran 26.
Fingers out for the first time. He means it.
I ran 26.2 miles, and I'm sure that you've heard this many a time of people complaining that they were disappointed. I ran 26.2 miles in like 3 hours and 50 minutes or whatever.
But
you don't run
the track
26.2 miles.
Yeah.
And so I was weaving around, picking up high fives from people as I went, getting a Lucozade
well done with that.
as I went along. But that adds on mileage.
Yeah,
And I
so
didn't realise this until you got to the end.
There's a book written by. Do we have a copy of that book anywhere? There's a book called 119 Days: How to Train for and Smash Your First Ever Marathon. And 119 days is 17 weeks training plan. Okay. It's a brilliant book.
Okay.
And in that, the guy he's written in layman's language. Oh, by the way, bear in mind that when you run a marathon, it's not 26.2 miles. It's about 27 and a half, and it's all in this great book.
Yeah. I should have
read
done
that
that. I
book.
should have read the book.
I can't remember who wrote that book.
Oh, hang on a minute.
Well,
hang on a minute. Let's have a look here. Oh, look. Oh, look. Would you like?
Do we have one of those around? Oh man, this is so great because I probably won't ever run a marathon again. But...
Oh, in that case, I'll have it. Man.
Yeah, no.
Well,
if it's that easy, if it's so easy to break down, then who knows? Maybe I will. But oh god, so
do you know about the line, the blue line?
I do now.
There's a blue line on the track,
and there were people running behind me going, "Excuse me, excuse me,
get off the blue line,
get away."
And if you run that, you will do 26, about 26.4 if you're on that blue line.
That's what the book is it?
Yeah. So if there's more in it, I mean, it's gold. It's all gold. Yeah, every page is gold.
Oh look, there's tick boxes. There's great diagrams. Yeah. Guys, you should get this. Everyone who's going to run a marathon should get this.
It's a bestseller, and every penny goes to charity.
Wow.
What's your charity again?
It's Stormbreak. Martin Yelling, who is the official coach for the London Marathon, he's got this charity, kids' mental health movement, and every penny goes to Stormbreak, which is ace.
You should have read that book, pal. I should have given it to you. Sorry, I forgot.
But mind you, Phil, 403. 403 is a fantastic marathon.
Yeah, come on. It just doesn't start with a 3, does it?
You've got to break the 4.
You've got
to break the 4.
It's so funny because you're such a lovely fella, you're so approachable and so affable, and you probably did high five about 100 people, 200 people.
It keeps you going, doesn't it?
And it was peak Lasso as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah. It was. You'd hear. It was probably more Jamie's than there were Phil's.
Yeah. Did you get Jamie Tartt? Did you get loads of that?
There's a bit of that, yeah.
Okay, so you did probably been. I mean, you could have been.
So does it say about high fiving in here?
Yeah, no, everything.
Does it say high five or don't high five?
Halfway is 20 miles, not 13 miles. All that stuff.
Hold on. Halfway is mental.
Yeah,
mental
and in the legs, and all that kind of stuff. You don't train to get to the finish line. You train to get to the start line, and it's 26.2 miles to pick up your medal. That's all you're doing.
Oh, that's good.
Stuff like it's all in there, man.
I saw you just before. There was a little place where there was snacks. It
wasn't a little place. It was a massive posh VIP tent.
Yeah.
Come on, let's tell it like it is. Yeah, it was like the greatest way ever to run a marathon.
It was great.
We're very lucky.
But obviously, there's like pain au chocolat there and croissants
porridge, pain au chocolat,
like full English breakfast.
Yeah,
and I'm
all the Vaseline you need.
Obviously, you go and have it all. You drink 7 coffees and your bowels are in pieces. Yeah. I'm like, why have they got this here? This is a terrible idea, surely. I mean, it's very kind and very generous, and I was very pleased to be there.
Yeah.
Rubbing shoulders with the likes of you. But I was also like,
sorry about that.
This is making me more nervous, and the coffee isn't helping.
Yeah, because it's your first ever marathon.
But so did you have any? You just had a banana and
didn't have anything.
Some apple schnapps or something.
Didn't have anything.
Okay, really.
I had a cup of black coffee. That was it.
Really?
Yeah.
You somehow managed to.
No, because you just look. It's weird. I'm 20 marathons in. How many you done?
Oh, 100.
100 marathons. Are you not done? Is that?
Well, here's the thing. Today's the day that people find out if they're in London 2025.
Yeah, nice. By the way.
Oh,
so today's the ballot day. Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
So you could sign up. Because they'd let you in the posh tent again, right? So you could sign up today to start your marathon time with a 3.
Oh, come on, do it again with us. Come on.
I won't be backed into a corner. I can't be because well, maybe. I don't know,
you've got the training plan now.
That's true.
By the way, your eyes have just lit up. Your eyes lit up then. They did. I promise you, Phil. I got no dog in this race. I got no skin in this game. Your eyes just lit up. Look, and by the way, you're smiling now, big time. You're smiling with your whole face.
Because I'm nervous and I'm scared.
Nerves are good, man. Screw it and do it. Where are you? Is it a yes or is it no?
Yes.
Are we calling to you?
Well, if I do it, I'd run it for Young Lives versus Cancer, who are the lot I did it for.
Well, how can you not?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
God. Okay, all right. Great. Well, cheers, yeah.
In? Yes or no? Pinky? Is that a pinky?
I guess.
We pinky? Is it pinky? Can't learn a pinky?
I feel like I'm being.
Yes or no for a pinky?
I'm being from
Pinky! Dunster's back in! Yes! From the dumpster to the Dunster. Forget dumpster fires, Dunster's on fire. Wow, you're the best. Phil,
did it with a pun.
He's so like, how did
pun.
that just happen?
I know. We'll see
That's
you in
peer
April.
pressure.
Yeah.
That's peer pressure.
Yeah, that's what it is. That was Phil Dunster. What would Jamie Tartt say about last night's game? What would he say and how would he say it?
Rubbish, mate. He can't say it. It's live radio. He'd get in trouble for saying it. But
Right.
he'd get me on, mate. I mean, Jack Grealish wasn't there.
I was going to say, how gutted would Jamie be that Jack wasn't picked for the team?
I mean, yeah, he's just like, what are you doing? He's the prettiest one of them all. Why would you not get him on?
Was there a lot going on there with Jamie and Jack?
Well, there's definitely like, you know, there's a bow to the great man himself.
Yeah.
But there was a lot. I think
Have you met Jack?
I did meet him. Yeah.
How was that?
It was great.
Wow,
It was great.
where was that?
It was actually. This is a super relatable story. We'd gone to watch last season. We'd watched Arsenal, Man City, and we had very fortunately been allowed to go down to the dressing room afterwards.
Yeah.
And so we'd filmed with Pep. I think maybe a week before or a couple of weeks
That
before.
was a great sequence, wasn't it?
So good. And
Yeah.
he gave me a chest slap as well. I haven't washed yet. And we bumped into a few of them there. I don't think he'd seen the show. Jack, I don't think he knew about it, and that's fine. That's okay. I just could look at his marvellous calves.
Are they marvellous up close and
but
personal?
like to the point where you're like, that's
Yours
mad.
are pretty good.
Thanks, man. But they're not like the.
I know they were way over. I know that. I don't care. Phil Dunster's on. It's my show. It says so there. Look, Chris Evans' show. Tell us about your leg prep for Lasso.
Mostly trying to get as vascular as possible by trying to do some sort of calf raises.
Yeah, calf raises. Very good.
Because that was the most important thing.
Oh,
That's
right,
what
shaving.
you're thinking about.
Do you shave down?
I should have done, but I didn't.
You didn't shave down?
No, but I did roll up the shorts a little bit, just
Right.
to sort of to show some.
Okay.
goods.
And any tanning going on? Fake tanning?
There was some fake tanning, not for Phil, but for Jamie. And then whatever was left on there, that could stay. That was fine.
Okay, great. All right. Anything else you'd like to say before you?
Oklahoma in concert, 19th, 20th, at Theatre Royal Drury Lane. It's going to be amazing, amazing, amazing.
All right. Love
Come
it.
see
Thank
us.
you, Phil.
Thank you.
Great to see you. Talk to you properly.
Lovely.
Really
Love you.
good. Really good fun. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So Phil Dunster on stage in August and at the start line of the marathon next April. Would you like me to sign that book for you?
Yes, please.
Okay.